welcome to this Carpe Diem. It's the first time Pragati Leadership is hosting Carpe Diem in Delhi-NCR. So thank you so much for coming here. And we started this few years ago. We have had few Carpe Diems in Pune. Recently we have had Carpe Diem, a very successful Carpe Diem in Mumbai. And now it's the first time we are having Carpe Diem in Delhi. So hearty welcome, and few of our Pune people are here and Delhi team is hosting it. Today's theme for today afternoon, we have this, the theme for the Carpe Diem is saying Wholesome Leadership, a paradigm shift in leading change. Yeah. So the flow for the afternoon, I'm going to take a few minutes at the beginning to set the context what all it is. I'm going to introduce panelists for this afternoon. Then they're going to add their views on about wholesome leadership and the three aspects of wholesome leadership. You all have a small booklet which talks about wholesome leadership and the banners we have put on the wall. After they add their view, we'll have a small conversation around your views, and then we'll have a Q&A, and then we'll close with high tea. So we'll take a few minutes on context setting. We'll have a current look of the current state of affairs on the variety of aspects, starting with business. As it might look like, most of the customers we talk to, the businesses are growing. Now when we ask, obviously in our workshops, and how's your business doing? They are saying very well. Recently, actually I'm coming back, last week I did a team building workshop, and I say, hey, do you all know everybody's name? They say, oh yes, we know everybody's name. Now do you know everybody's hobbies? They say, Vivek, we have forgotten our hobbies. So while we are doing business, and we say, who are your stakeholders, and all they are happy. And as a senior business leaders, and either you're leading the business or from the HR or L&D fraternity or from the different departments, one of the questions we need to ask ourselves, where are we heading? And that on the right hand side you see that unrolling to happen. So we're making good money. So who are the stakeholders we are focusing on? Is it really only stakeholders? What's happening with our employees? What's happening with society in general? What's happening with the happiness index of the organization? Might be these are the questions we need to think this afternoon. Current state of affairs in politics, no comments from our side, we just want to show pictures. On social front, I'm just coming back from one more Tech for Seva conference where we brought a research institute, corporates and NGO on the same platform. And a chief of one of the largest manufacturing companies in India on engines, he said, the NGO work, the social work is not extracurricular activity, it's part of my job. Working for society, working for environment is part of pretty much our day in, day out. They are pretty key stakeholders the way we do. Now we as leaders who can make powerful decisions, either we can implement few projects or we can take a call of not implementing few projects, are aware of what's happening in society. Do we see those connections? Are we making conscious choice? That's the thought. So, the thought we want to put in front of you, the kind of leadership which exists, what kind of leadership exists today? We can go in theory, this is people-oriented, or the task-oriented, or situational leadership, and variety of models, whatever it is. If some of us sitting in the audience are part of that leadership, then we can take those calls. What kind of calls do I take? Are we forced by the situation? Or I'm conscious, I'm aware, the choices I make are prudent and they help all the stakeholders. Or I say, it's anyway 5 years down the line, anyway I'm about to retire, or I'm going to resign, I'm going to retire from this company. I take the call, which is for, we call money earning, or achieving my 5-year target. I really don't see beyond that. The question really comes in, what do we want to achieve? As an individual, for society, for family, for this Mother Earth, we will just not talking more than that. And really what kind of life we want for ourselves? On a career front, on a home front, friends, children, environment, overall health, peace of mind. The leadership which exists today, is it going to help us to achieve what all we are looking forward to? And this is the one theme we wanted to bring in the Carpe Diem this year. So the question is, ठीक है, बहुत बातें की हैं, करना क्या है? What kind of leadership is required here? What could be one of the answers? The deep belief at Pragati Leadership, and Arun is one of the men with the thought leader behind this, the concept we use called Wholesome Leadership. Today we want to, some of you might be aware of this, you might have read it, and we want to introduce this concept. It's given in the booklet, they are on the charts, and we would have a conversation around it. क्या खासियत है होलसम लीडरशिप की? क्या क्या एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं? जो लीडर है, जो होलसम लीडर हम बोलते हैं, उसके एट्रीब्यूट्स क्या क्या हैं? Wholesome leader supposed to be aware, in a deep sense of awareness, is aware, highest level of awareness. क्या क्या चीज का awareness है? About own potential. He does not have a limited belief. I am this. I am from this country. I am from this religion. I belong here. I am doing this role. But we are coming from a deep sense of awareness and consciousness saying, I have infinite potential. When I am deeply aware in my leadership role, I am able to see all the connections which otherwise I am unable to see. If I do this, then this will happen. If I do this, this might happen. They say one of the bottling plant of one of the soft drink manufacturing company, you might have read that story. The outside village did not have water while the bottling plant was running. I as a leader, now that with the state of awareness, the heightened awareness, I am aware of all the connections. Deep inside, why I want to grow, the slide I showed in my business. How am I running business? मैंने आज खाना खाया है, does that mean कोई तो भूखा रहना जरूरी है? My company is growing, does it mean some company has to make some loss? The wholesome leader, we say, constantly seeks well-being of all. मेरा मंगल हो, आपका भी मंगल हो. Arun fondly uses the concept of seesaw versus a lift. Yeah? Seesaw is एक ऊपर जाएगा तो दूसरा नीचे आना जरूरी है. Lift is, what is the thought process by which both can be elevated high? Some of the results of wholesome leader, the net effect, it's a joyful environment, the leader is happy. There is abundance mentality. सबके लिए दुनिया में बहुत है. Heightened level of awareness we have talked about. Deep insights on the things, on the matter, on the potential. Always doing balance. It's not like we also discussed, since there is a scarcity of money, we pump in a lot of money in our bank account, right? But we don't store oxygen, thinking like one day oxygen will be over in the earth. No. We all have been breathing since morning, there is enough oxygen on the earth. And it can. Coming to the real life, practical. Wholesome leadership exists. Okay, how do we live it? How do we implement? The model of wholesome leadership, we talk about three aspects. Yeah, at this moment you can refer your book, the small notebook we have given. People sitting at the back, you can refer to the charts. There are three aspects we talk about. The self-mastery bit, the relating and developing bit, and the delivering value bit. And the combination is wholesome leadership. How does one live or implement wholesome leadership? The first aspect, which is self-mastery and seeing wholeness. It starts with I, right? What does it happen? I'm aware, I explore, and I have deep insights about my potential. I'm very conscious while taking decisions and leading the life and leading the company. The first dimension, in a few minutes, Arun is going to talk about it more, the self-mastery bit. The second bit, now that I'm aware about my own potential and my conscious choices, I consciously work with others to pass on the same message to them. And we use a picture of a chained man versus free man. Unlock potential in others, connect with people, and that's the second bit we call relating and developing people. Awakening people to their own intrinsic power. If people are thinking this is what I am and this is what restricted view I have about myself, the self-aware leader is helping all of other people to know their own potential and do better, I would say best. And the last bit, the self-aware leader working with now these aware people to deliver value which is best for all of us. It's not seesaw, but it is a lift approach. And these are the three dimensions of wholesome leadership we would like to spend a few minutes this afternoon. So with this bit context setting, I'm going to take a few minutes to introduce our panelists. So we have two panelists today. I'm going to take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Banmali Agrawala. He is the President and CEO of GE South Asia and is responsible for all GE's operations in the region. He is a veteran in energy domain and he has overall 29 years of global experience. He has served in several senior leadership roles in the Wärtsilä Group and in the Tata Power Group. He is acknowledged in the industry to have built and led successful teams that have driven business growth globally. An active member of CII, he has held several official positions within CII. He is a mechanical engineer graduate from Mangalore University and is also an alumnus of Advanced Management Program of the Harvard Business School. So let's welcome Mr. Agrawala. We all know Arun, but I think I must take a few minutes to say that. Arun is a graduate from IIT Delhi and he has also done an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. He started his career with Nelco, then the Tatas. He's a task officer, and finally he started in 1986. He started Pragati Leadership Institute. The man behind this concept of wholesome leader, he's a deep believer of the concept of one wholesome world, a world which is joyful, socially just, and healthy for all of us, and it's co-created by communities of people who are living and leading consciously. He's a coach for the last 30 years. He has put thousands and thousands of hours of coaching and in facilitation. A friend, philosopher and guide for all of us at Pragati Leadership, Executive Chairman of Pragati Leadership. Please welcome Mr. Arun Wakhlu.